Japan, sure to be a special weekend for Toyota Gazoo Racing. Celebrations all round after another clean sweep of silverware, retaining the manufacturers, drivers and co-drivers' world titles. That success contributing to the increasing popularity of the sport in Japan. A warm welcome awaits the crews and one driver in particular.
For sure, it's very good for me to get a lot of fans because long time, like a lot of fans, a long time they are waiting, but there is also like a new fans, which is new guys never seen about WRC, about running. I'm really expecting that even more people to come service park and hopefully on the stage as well, but for sure on the road section. Like I have seen so many people on the road section last year, so that was brilliant.
Takamoto Katsuta looking forward to returning home and, all being well, another strong outing. The local hero leading Toyota's challenge in Japan last season, finishing third. Happy days.
Yeah, for sure it was good memory for me. Really long weekend and many things happened in that rally also. So for sure this year I feel like I have a bit more better, like let's say skills and more experiences and things, so I can perform better than last year for sure, but still like stage itself is very different than any other countries, so it's going to be a big challenge anyway. It's second year, so we have some knowledges and we know what kind of car you should bring there. One thing is very obvious that the Japanese stages are very twisty and narrow, so basically you need to have a very good like turning. I mean, car should have very good reaction and reactive car, and same time like you shouldn't like struggle with understeer, because you start even small amount of understeering, it's affecting a lot your time and your confidence, and you know it's you cannot get like reach very good time. So this is, I think, very important for Rally Japan stages.
Takamoto Katsuta heading home with hopes of another podium finish. The Japanese star finishing last season on a high, but his team, Toyota, denied a winning end to the campaign as Hyundai stole the show. A 1-2, Oit Tanak finishing runner-up to Thierry Neuville.
I enjoyed Rally Japan, to be honest, not only because we were competitive and we won the event, but also because the roads are interesting. They are, I would say, very challenging in terms of pace notes, because lots of slow corners, very narrow roads, lots of grip changes, and very often you're running in the forest. It's very dark most of the time, so that are additional challenges. But I enjoyed the event last year. The car was working fine. I always like when the roads are narrow and a bit tricky and twisty. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it again.
I mean, going back now, second time is definitely much easier than first time. It was one of the most kind of technical events I've ever done. Very narrow, twisty, deep in the forest, kind of greasy roads, and it was altogether quite challenging. But I guess now going back, we have some know-how, we know a bit what to expect. It makes our lives a bit easier.
Well, I hope it's going to be easier than the Central Europe Rally. What I've seen and what I've heard, it's twisty, really twisty. The conditions are generally quite smooth. There is some grip changes, as we could see on last year's event, but it generally should be okay. Should be enjoyable. I mean, the country is nice, so I'm actually quite looking forward, even I know it's on tarmac.
The tarmac seems to be what we call quite low macro, so it's not a particularly abrasive tarmac for one. And then the other thing is that a lot of the stages are held in the forest, so the roads tend to be quite low traffic. They're really out in the countryside. They're in the deep forest, very narrow. So you tend to have the edges of the road very green, almost like a moss growing on the surface, and that also reduces the grip level available.
Yeah, it's quite different. It's definitely much more neat and tidy driving. You cannot really flow and push so much than usually on dry tarmac, that you can just really push the tire and the car much more. There you just need to, in Japan, you just need to follow the road. Let's say it's really narrow. You're not really pushing in some sections so much. You just need to keep it really clean.
Left 4 right sharp, middle, into